up, losers? It's me, Carroll. Welcome back to my fucking channel. It is the end of November, and you know what? Things have not changed for me, but that's okay. I'm just rolling with the fucking punches, right? Here are the books that I did end up finishing this month. Oh, I'm a mess right now. There's only a couple here, but that's kind of advantageous to you guys, because like you don't have to listen to me ramble about shit for like half an hour. Like I can just get fucking through it. You can spend like a tiny little bit of your day listening to me, and then we can all move on with our lives. Okay, so probably the best, well, I don't know. I have two really good things that I read this month. One of them being They Were Here Before Us by LaRocca. This is a collection of short stories. It's called A Novella in Pieces, and they all kind of share a slightly similar theme, but the stories themselves are a lot different. And I mean, like, I just really love Eric's writing. So I'm gonna read anything he writes, and I know I'm probably gonna fucking like it, right? So this is no different. It was great. This definitely has some gruesome parts to it, some parts that might make you queasy, some parts that might be triggering to some people, so always like look up content warnings for yourself. But I thought this was almost perfect. It was so good. And the fucking artwork is so gorgeous. It's like, oh, it's so gruesome and weird, and there's all this shit inside too that's just beautiful. And how does he find these artists? Oh my fucking god. It's just beautiful. It's short and it's quick and it's sweet, and you really can't go wrong. I also read Through the Woods by Emily Carroll, which is another, this is like a graphic novel, and it's another like short story collection. This, I was walking out of my sister-in-law's house on Halloween, and my niece was like, do you want to borrow this? And I was like, huh, actually I fucking do. Like, this is a book that I've been looking for like a cheap copy of because I've heard it's good, and it was good. It wasn't the best thing I've ever read. Some of the stories were just okay, but I think the very last one, let me see what it's called. It was called The Nesting Place, and it was weird. It was about this woman. She's in college. She goes back to stay with her brother during a break, and her brother has a wife that the young woman doesn't really know very well. So they're trying to get to know each other. Things are, there seems to be like a little tension for some reason, and then like things get more tense, and like, you know why, because you're reading it and you're like, this is really weird. And there is some really great artwork in this. I think that's probably the best part of this graphic novel is the artwork, but it is another one that's just like really short and sweet to get through. I read it in like an hour or so, maybe. So that's Through the Woods. The other best book that I read this month was Shiver by Junji Ito. This is one of like the bind-ups of his shorter stories. I think there are, well, I don't think, I'm fucking counting right now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There are 9. Oh, no, there's 10, kind of. There's 10 stories in this. I think all of these were really good, actually, like looking back on them. Used Record was good, Shiver was good. Fashion Model had some of the creepiest imagery. There's one story where it's like a family, this person growing up, his father did like marionette shows for a living, and his brother went on to do that, and he became kind of like estranged from his brother, but then he finds his brother again, and his brother's whole house is, oh, I shouldn't say it, it's just really weird. His brother's whole house is very weird. His living situation is so fucking weird, and the story is really weird. It's a good one. All of these are good. It's got, the greased one was fucking disgusting. There is one with like bugs that really creeps me out, and yeah, it was just all really good. Such a great collection. Okay, so the other two books here, I didn't finish. One on purpose. I DNF'd it like at the very beginning of the month. That was actually The Three by Lotz, which is a book that I picked out at the very beginning of the year. And I looked at this book and I was like, you know what? I think this book is going to be like the fucking best book, right? This is a book that I'm going to love. I'm going to read it and be like, I think this is one of my favorites for the year. Unfortunately, it fucking was not. And I don't know if it's my mood. I don't know if it's that I'm having just a hard time reading in general, but this just did not cut it for me. This is about this weird event that happens in different places around the globe where there are like, I think like 4 plane crashes at the same time in different spots, and there are survivors and all of them are children. I think there's 3, that would make sense. Yeah, there's 3 children. And I think one of the things I really didn't like about this is that the POV jumps every fucking chapter, and it was really hard for me to follow who was who and where they were and how they were related to either somebody on the plane or as somebody on the plane themselves or somebody who's taking care of one of the survivors afterwards, that sort of thing. And I can't even remember how far in I got. I should have marked it. I don't know, I want to say like maybe more than 50 pages, but not quite to like 100 or anything like that. And it just was not doing it for me. And I'm so fucking over everything right now. So like I'm like especially over shit that is just absolutely not interesting to me. So fucking cut that umbilical cord between me and this book, and I said, fuck you, book, I don't even like you. And so now it's going to be just, I don't know, maybe I'll sell it. So unfortunately, this is actually, I think when I talked about this before, I said I'd only read Sarah Lotz once, but then I remembered that I actually read a book where she wrote under a pen name with like a co-author, and I did not like that either. So I'm wondering if maybe I just don't like her books, because this did feel really similar to the other book I read that was called The Ward, and I can't remember the pen name that they used. Something Gray, I think, like 2 initials, like something Gray. But I can't remember. So anyways, I think maybe Sarah Lotz is just not for me, which is unfortunate because I read a short story that she wrote that I really liked, and that's what made me think maybe I'll like this book, and I didn't. So that's fucking it about the 3. I'd really like to know if anyone here has actually read it and finished it, because I am curious about it, but like not enough to slog through this giant fucking book. This has got to be, I'm gonna guess it's 480 pages. 467, I was very close. So yeah, it's just, wait, is it more? 471 pages. I was even closer, but either way, like, it's just not, it didn't do it for me, and that's okay. I just can't be fucking bothered by that shit right now, you know? Okay, and then a book that I am reading and am enjoying is The Ghost That Ate Us by Daniel Kraus. I'm looking at this file. Oh, I had so many books picked out to read this month, and I only read one of them, technically. This is a new release. I can't remember when this came out, but this is really interesting. It's told like documentary style. Like, we're following the documentarian as they're creating this documentary about this event that happened called the Burger City Poltergeist. And you know that like somehow there were murders, but you don't know who was murdered or how they were murdered or who did the murdering. I still don't know. I am 96 pages in, and it's very interesting, but I think the way that it is written, it's almost like reading nonfiction, and that is a little bit slower going for me, which is okay. Like, I'm still here for it. I'm still curious. I think the author does a really great job of fleshing out the interviewees in this, the people that are being interviewed, and making them feel like separate people and not just like one big mash of like somebody who worked at a burger joint, you know what I mean? I haven't gotten very far into it. I mean, like, I'm almost 100 pages in. I guess that's kind of far. But I've just been, you know, I've been fucking going through it. So I'm being kind to myself. I'm reading when I want to read. I'm not forcing myself to do anything right now. And that part feels great, honestly. It's just that, like, I do really love reading, and I would like to be able to pick up a book and fucking read it in one sitting again, which I haven't been able to do in quite some time, and that does make me sad in my poor little brain, but that's okay. I will, like, these books aren't fucking going anywhere. They're here, they're staying, except for the 3. I think I might fucking throw that in the trash, but anyway, that's what I read this month. I'd love to know if you guys read anything great this month, if you read any of these and have any thoughts. If you finished The Ghost That Ate Us and you liked it, let me know. I'm curious to hear thoughts about that without fucking telling me exactly what happened in the book. Don't be a dick. That's all. Thank you guys. I'll see you later.